Welcome to the Rapport Advantage Podcast, transforming the way leaders communicate. Here's your host, human behavior expert and professional speaker, Alex Swire-Clark.
Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show, everyone. We are in part 2 of our 4-part series, Powerful Steps to Navigate Social Distancing by Personality Style. I am Alex Swire-Clark, your host. I am an author, award-winning speaker, and emotional intelligence expert here to help you break down the walls of miscommunication, increase your emotional intelligence, and build better relationships in the workplace and beyond. Thank you. That's what we do here. It's been a while. We had our last episode just pop up last week, so that was excellent and awesome, and we are ready to break down the I's today. How do they deal with social distancing? It's a real struggle for them. Let's break it down. So I's style strengths. They are super happy all the time, optimistic, glasses always half full with those folks. They were born to be happy.
Yes.
Now, they were happy until social distancing began. And then it went all to heck in a handbasket because they are likely to have the most difficult time in these remote environments. Why is that? Well, because they enjoy connecting with people. And every time that they can't see someone, give someone a high five, give someone a fist bump, whatever, they're missing out. So it's extremely painful for them. They enjoy connecting with others and feel really disconnected or lonely during those times when they are working remotely or during this whole COVID-19 issue that we face as a nation and as a world. So when they don't have as many chances to engage with their friends and coworkers, it causes drama, it causes stress and anxiety for them. There can be depression as a result. There can be this whole melancholy attitude in general. So even though this process may be hard for them, they can learn to adapt while slowing down and smelling the roses for a bit. But it's going to take a little bit of coaching. It's also going to take a little bit of time for them to figure out, okay, this is the new norm, at least for now. And again, we're recording this in the latter part of May. So we're still in this whole COVID-19 quarantine mode. Some states are opening up, some states aren't. So if you're in one of those states that aren't right now and you're going to be continuing this for a while, then these tips can certainly help you. So how do I styles cope with isolation? Well, despite the fact that I styles may have a difficult time being home alone for an extended period of time, they can continue to keep up with their social life. With a bit of creativity, there are some ways to do it. And here are a few tips for that. Number one, they can host dinners or coffee dates with friends through like Zoom calls. And so anything they can do like that is super fun. They can find TV shows or movies that their friends are watching and discuss in a group chat. They can actually sit down and watch movies together. I know my daughter has done that. She's done the whole Twilight series where they hop on a Zoom call and then they pop the video up there and then they watch the video together, which is kind of bizarre, but it's like a mini movie theater where they're all together, but that's fun. Board games are playable through platforms like Tabletop Simulator or Zoom. I know that my board game group and I have found Zoom to be a really creative tool. If you've listened to this podcast before, you know that I am a super board game geek, love it to death. It's my favorite hobby. And my board game group and I generally get together because we're in about 3 different states. We generally only get together twice a year for a couple weekends to play. But since we've used Zoom and some of the technology there with some other apps, we're able to play some board games no matter where we are. So we've been able to play more frequently as a result, and that's kind of taking care of that need for us, and it's been really, really fantastic. There's painting, you can writing, play music. Just Dance is a great app to play with your kids, to get up and get moving and just get some exercise and enjoy that kind of fun, silly dancing that we enjoy as eyes. Or you can do something even more creative that gets your juices flowing. That's create some content for a YouTube channel or start a podcast or start a blog. Where you can express yourself. Eyes love to express themselves in many different formats. So anything that we can do to express ourselves and have those outlets to do so, that's a positive for eyes. So when we have eyes on our team and we're collaborating with them remotely, how do we get that done? Well, in a word, you need to do it as often. I mean, as much as possible, because eye styles tend to enjoy the chance to socialize whenever they can. It's important for them to keep energized by communicating with them through video meeting when possible. A CEO was asking me the other day when I was doing a conference call with a group of CEOs. They said, Alex, how do we help our eyes during this time? And I said, well, what you can do is if you have eyes working together, you can have them just start a Zoom call and just leave it open with everybody's video on. And everyone can stay muted, but, they can, at the drop of a hat, unmute and say, hey, Bob, what you think about the Michael Jordan thing that was going on? Oh, dude, that was awesome. And so they can have that chit chat and create that energy, because eyes like to take those frequent breaks and interact with folks. So having that Zoom meeting on all the time really helps them to maintain that connectivity with their teams. So give them opportunities to share what they're thinking is the key there. Again, they are impressionable, but they're also expressive and they're interactive. They like to share their thoughts and feelings. So give them the opportunity to do that. And try to keep the mood as positive and collaborative during this time. Eyes like to be a part. Anytime that there's someone in the room other than themselves, they're going to be a happy camper. The more the merrier. So give them time to collaborate and avoid allowing the isolating situation to turn team projects into very individualistic tasks. We don't want people siloing, because where a C or a D kind of really thrives in that arena, I's and S's need to be working more collaboratively. So prevent as much siloing as you possibly can and schedule frequent check-ins to prevent that from happening. So again, if you want to leave the Zoom on all the day, that's fine. One thing I would also recommend to people who are working with I's on their teams is micromanagement is often given a bad rap in terms of, you're overbearing, you're giving people too many rules to follow, too much structure. But for I's in this time of working independently and working remotely, the more frequent you can check on them, the better, because for them, they need that structure. They need that time to be able to hear from you as a manager, or to hear from you if you're the project lead, to say, here's what we're doing today. Here's the goal for today. Here's our week-long goal, but here's the goal for today that we need to get done. If we get these 5 things done, we're going to be in good shape. So when we do that, the eyes have the structure they need so that if they do get off task, they can always come back. Okay, I was on number 2. Okay, number 2 for today was to do blah, 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 blah. So the more structure you can provide them, the better they're going to thrive in this area. If you just tell them, here's the goal for the month, and it's a Monday at the beginning of the month, here's your goal. You need to make, 600 calls, or you need to sell $50,000 worth of widgets, or whatever it happens to be, and you just leave them to that, they're going to struggle, because they're going to say, how am I supposed to fill my day today? Well, I'll do some calls later. Let me watch this YouTube video. Oh, there's some wash to do. Or, oh, I got to go take this trash to the outside. Oh, no, I've got to do this a recycling run, or whatever it happens to be. They'll get distracted by all of those things that aren't being productive for them. Hope that makes sense to you. Again, we do have this powerful steps to navigate social distancing available to you, and just go to our website. I'll send you the information for that. You can just give us your name and email, and that'll be a PDF download. We can have all this information right in front of you. Share it with your team. It's great stuff in full color and all that kind of good stuff. Appreciate you listening today. We will see you next time with our 3rd in the 4-part series, and we'll talk about our S's. See you then.
Thanks for listening to the Rapport Advantage podcast. We'd love to hear from you. Join the conversation on Facebook at the Rapport Advantage, and follow us on Twitter at Rapport Podcast.